Drag, circus, comedy. There's enough space for everyone, even for a bearded Samoan ex-rugby player from Ipswich. Like me.
Scarlet, Satan, Moe, Shandon, listen to your mother.
My full name is Fiu Yowane Efeso Sydney Faanana, but I go by the name Fez.
Okay, bye. See you later.
I quickly adopted that name early in life when it got to my name in the role in primary school. There was quite often a pause from the teacher. I would generally just put my hand up and say, I think you're up to my name in the role. You can just call me Fez. I'm a creative director for a company called Briefs Factory, which I started. A choreographer, a drag idiot, contemporary dancer. Yeah, just all-round idiot, really. It was about 2009. A lot of Brisbane artists were forming collectives and making shows and taking them to Adelaide Fringe or taking them to Brisbane Festival and doing some really amazing work. So we kind of jumped on that bandwagon and went, we should do an all-male group. So we put on a bunch of shows and we sold really well. Then we realised then that people were up for what we were doing. People were really keen to get their eyes dirty. I can proudly say that we tour and employ a ridiculous amount of stunning Australian artists and showcase them internationally. We managed to punch well above our weight. I love the idea of being able to entertain people and to create a space of escapism. I feel like the rigidness of people's lives can be really softened and re-energized by creativity, and that can be in the form of classical ballet, opera, circus, drag, music, whatever your tool is, whatever your weapon is, you can create a space, a safe, fantastic, ridiculous, shiny space for people to come and escape in and realize why it's important to celebrate life and foster every moment. Like many of us Australians, I'm a new arrival. I was born in Porirua in New Zealand. Both of my parents are Samoan, and I was brought up in Australia in the small country town of Ipswich. My parents decided to move to Australia in '84, so I was 5 turning 6 at the time. My parents were also very persistent in acknowledging where we were, so they were all up for giving me the Vegemite sandwich. But they were also very keen on making sure that I took corned beef, luau, taro, green bananas to school. When I got the green bananas and the corned beef, I would always go and sit by myself. In the 90s, troubled youth was the thing that was quite often attached to Pacific culture. There was a bit of misguided energy happening at that time. We were getting this reputation, the Pacific Islanders, you were either priming yourself to be on the rugby league field or you were priming yourself to be in jail. So my parents, along with a whole heap of other parents in the Samoan community, decided to put this group together. They called it Unity. It was about maintaining Samoan culture through dance, through song. I am not musically inclined at all, so I was always forced to dance. That was my formal dance training growing up, my parents forcing me to do traditional dance. I think my parents' reaction to me coming out was definitely about Samoan culture, the way that they engage with whawhawhinge, like the two-spirited, the third gender. There's arguably many names for it, but in Samoa, the truest way to explain it is by saying whawhawhinge, which is the way of the woman. So that's always been something in my peripheral. And so, of course, my parents' understanding of whawhawhinge, my parents' understanding of of gay culture. I think that also helped them to come along and say, fine, okay, have you got any real problems for us to deal with? Honestly, can't think of a situation where I felt like I was hard done by for being a queer artist. If anything, it was a notion and a community and a flight path that I appealed and I wanted to speak to just as much as my cultural community, and all of those paths crossed. And then there was like the conversation with mainstream Australia. I feel like being a gay man or a queer man or a whawhawhinga or a fag or a poof or all of those things, whatever you want to call it, that potentially freed me up on my ideas on sexuality. It didn't restrict me in any way. And while things are not just, while things are unfair, and while things are downright bullshit, I am happy to deal with it and turn it into something that I can work with.